Okay, for this function right here, you're asked to find the domain. And here's a graph of the function with a table filled out to kind of give you an indication of what's happening. If you try to plug -4 into the function, for some reason the graph doesn't go there and the function's undefined. But at -3 it is defined. At -1 it is defined. At -1 it's undefined. At -1/2 it's defined. So how can we find out all these places where the function is undefined without seeing a graph? Well, here's the case. The number under that square root radical, the first term on the left, any expression under a square root radical has to be greater than or equal to 0 in the real number system. So 4 minus x has to be greater than or equal to 0. And at the same time, the other radical has a 3 plus x under it. It has to be greater than or equal to 0 also. And in the denominator, we have that x squared minus 1. You can't divide by 0. So x cannot equal 1. X cannot equal -1. You could picture this as factored as a difference of squares if you wanted to. That helps visualize it a little better. That's where you have vertical asymptotes at x equals 1, x equals -1. So from this first inequality, if we solve this for x, by perhaps adding x to both sides, we would get 4 greater than or equal to x, or x is less than or equal to 4. So far, these are the numbers that make this first inequality true. But if we solve this second one for x, we get x has to be greater than or equal to -3. So the intersection of those two sets is the numbers between -3 and 4. So we could start, if we wanted to use domain of all numbers x such that x is an element of the real numbers. X is between -3 and 4 inclusive. We also have to add the stipulation that x does not equal 1, x does not equal -1. Now I have a feeling you're requested to do this with interval notation. So we make note of the fact that at -1, we can include that number. And at 1, we can include that number in the domain. So if you want to use interval notation, we have to specify this set of numbers from -3 up to -1, not including the -1. Join those with this set of numbers between -1 and 1. Not including those numbers. And then finally join those with the numbers between 1 and 4, including the 4. This is a unit symbol. Okay, so there's the domain in interval notation. There you go. Hope that helped. If you have any questions, post a comment.